eagles. Today I want to talk about eagles, mother eagles specifically, and what I learned about them through a recent Bible study in Job. So if you're interested, stick around for today's video. My name's Leslie. I am a Christian wife, mother, and childbirth doula. This is where I share about birth, faith, and family. Today I want to dive right into the word so that I can share with you guys some of the insight that God gave me into eagles and how he speaks about them in his word and what we can learn from them as mothers. So to start off, give you context, I'm going to be reading out of Job 39 today. But to give you context, essentially, this is God answering Job. And essentially, God is correcting him. God is saying, with much sarcasm, actually, were you there when I made creation? Consider everything I've made, right? And so this is one of the things that he says to Job in verse 18. Did you give the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, who leaves her eggs in the earth and warms them in dust, and forgets that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them? She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because God has deprived her of wisdom, neither has he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifts up herself on high, she scorns the horse and his rider. That's his description of the ostrich. Then I want to jump down when he mentions the next bird in verse 27. Does the eagle mount up at your command and make her nest on high? She dwells and abides on the rock, upon the crag of the rock and the strong place. From there she seeks the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is she. So there's two birds mentioned here, and God was really speaking to me about this because, well, I just then went to do some research about what these birds are actually like and things like that, and it is very interesting. So I want to talk about this for a bit because I was like, wow, Lord, there's stuff here that there are things in your creation and the way that you design things for us to learn from. The ostrich is an interesting animal, very interesting. So I did a little bit of research on them, and their wings are not capable for flight. They have these big bodies, but wings that can't lift them. They don't use their feathers to warm their eggs. They use the dust. The expression head in the sand actually comes from an ostrich because they are known to stick their heads into like thickets and bushes and think that they're hidden when they're not. And if we break down what he's saying in every single one of these verses, about this animal, as I start to think about like what can we glean from this? What can we learn from the ostrich? I mean, they have wings and feathers, but they don't use them for flight or for warmth, for the things that you would think that they would be used for. God calls us to use what he's equipped us with to care for what he's called us to do. So you would think that they would use their feathers to warm their eggs, but they don't. They bury them in the dust, and literally, like, they can get crushed, they can get broken by anybody. The way that it works is like one male will have multiple females, and sometimes even the females will go and crush another female's eggs because they're all together. And that's just crazy to me. It's like, what kind of care are you taking of it just made me think, like, if you look at the ostrich as like such a stupid bird, I'm sorry to say that, but stupid bird in comparison to how other birds take care of their young, you would think that they would protect it so that it wouldn't, we're called to protect what God has given us to care for, what God has given us to serve, not be careless about it. And so that's what I was getting from this was, don't be careless about the things that God has given you has given you to take care of, even if you feel like maybe you don't have the resources to take care of it in the way that you want to, but use the resources that you have. And it says here that she is hardened against her young ones as if they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because while she went through the effort of having them, and it was all in vain, because she doesn't even like claim them like she should. And then it says, because God has deprived her of wisdom, neither has he imparted understanding. Well, it's because she doesn't value what he's given her. She didn't take care of what he gave her. And it ends with saying that she lifts herself on high and she scorns the horse and the rider. It does go on to describe the horse, but that's for another video. But it's just to say she exalts herself and she laughs at those who are, when you read about the horse, who are obedient to the Lord. They're obedient to the Lord. She isn't. She laughs at them, thinking they're the ones that are dumb, and she's the one who, whose children have been the things that she was supposed to birth, the things that she was supposed to give life to, she wasn't taking care of, so they were destroyed, right? And so I'm like, wow. And then you see the next bird that God mentions in this, in comparison to this, is the eagle. And the eagle, it says the eagle makes her nest high, so nobody can reach it. She dwells and abides on the rock. The rock is Jesus Christ. And from there, she seeks her prey. She sees them from far off. So she sees the enemy coming. Not like the ostrich, who literally in the dust, beasts come and things come and destroy and crush her eggs, and she doesn't even notice. It doesn't faze her, as opposed to the eagle, who sees everything far off. And the eagle is a predator. The eagle is not the prey. So the eagle actually sees afar off the enemy it's already going to have a victory over. It's already going to have a victory over. And it says her young ones suck up blood. And it literally means like she provides food for her young. She takes care of her young. And it says, where the slain are, there is she. Where there has been victory there she is, because she's claiming that victory. So I thought about this. And I researched about eagles and how they take care of their own. And man, mother eagles protect their young. Protect. And that's what God kept telling me, is like, if I give you something, if I entrust you with something, whether that's an actual child, whether it's a child, or whether it's a ministry, whether it's whatever he gives you, God has given us all something to care for, to nurture. So God has put inside of all of us something he wants to birth from within us. We need to use the talents that he gives us, use the things that he gives us to nurture that, to bring it to maturity, to birth it, and then to care for it, to watch it grow so that it can become everything it was meant to be. And I was like, wow, Lord, that is not only what you've entrusted with as mothers, and I take that very seriously, very, very seriously as a mother, also with everything else that you've given me, everywhere else you've called me to serve, everyone else you've called me to care for. And I think of this especially for women. We have a natural inclination towards caregiving. And so I don't know what it is for you. I don't know what it is that you're caring for, what it is that God's trying to birth out of you, what it is, but you know, and the Lord knows. And so I encourage you to be like the eagle and not like the ostrich, to use your resources, to dwell on the rock, to build your nest on high, to see the prey afar off, to claim the victory that's yours. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that you're encouraged. I hope that this was edifying to you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted every time I put out a new video. And I will see you in the next one. If you're interested in any of my If you're interested in any of my childbirth education material and things like that, I have left the links down below. Feel free to check those out. I have a limited time offer on my e-course available now at $75, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. God bless you. Bye.